What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here. We're going to be addressing a key team here that's going to help basically for new players, returning players, and of course as well end game players like myself. And this team is, I've preached about this team in some of my other videos here, but yeah, just a shout out to my boy Peter Parker. Peter Parkour, I guess I should say. We were having a discussion, and that's kind of how the idea came to me. So I wanted to make a quick video up on it. But yeah, appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Great discussion. Anyways, so with regards to this team is great because they're just so good, right? They're so good. You need them basically for Professor Xavier. You need them for Blue Marvel, and of course as well, you also need them for raids. And it should be no surprise here. The team that I am talking about today is going to be the Insidious 6 team. This team is great because not only do they have access to easy farmability from the get-go right when you start the game, but like I said, there's a lot of value for these guys. And this video is already going to be quite lengthy, so I apologize now in advance, but I will also just slap the gameplay footage I have that I use these guys for both Blue Marvel and Professor Xavier. So this team's not going anywhere. And now you're going to be like, whoa, Az, you just had another video earlier confirming that there's going to be another tech team. Why the heck should I waste my tech resources on this team? You're such a hypocrite. Well, hey, that's a good point. Let's quickly dive into the tech side so you guys can kind of see what we're looking at here. So if we go into the tech, you'll see that when we go into tech and we go into city, there is actually not that many tech city characters. So even though they, when they do confirm and tell us whatever this new, Iron Raiders team is going to consist of, there's no way they're going to be able to replace the city section, right? We're still going to need a city team, and we're still going to need some sort of we're still going to need something for Professor Xavier, right? No one's going to want to build up Vigilantes anymore, and you can definitely for sure bring your Amazing Avengers for that. But having said that as well, this team also has double dip value because of Blue Marvel, and yeah, if you guys haven't seen my footage from yesterday or the day before, was it? You'll see that it is extremely difficult without the Insidious 6 there. So I'll attach the gameplay, like I said, in the description so you guys can have a look. But basically, they've found a way to future-proof this team because you pretty much need them if you ever want to build Blue Marvel. I mean, you can always skip Blue Marvel, but I have a feeling he might be needed later down the road. And who knows? He might eventually get his own team as well, right? We don't know that. We don't know what's going to happen. But anyways, so this team itself is not going anywhere. And like I said, there's some outdated characters here. But right now, those guys are kind of in a niche of their own, right? They're kind of that city tech-ish, right? And if we take city out of the bracket here and we just go tech, global, you'll see that, whatever this new tech team, and if it consists of Hank or if it consists of Iron Man or whatever, they're global, right? So even if they do decide to throw this new tech team at us, and if it's going to be a villain tech or if it's going to be a hero tech, then yeah, fine. We can use them in some of the other sections for Xavier, for even Dark Dimension 9. But like I said already, it's not a city team. And if you're going into a global section, you're not going to want to bring these tech global guys into a global section, right? If I'm going into global and I'm doing Dark Dimension 9, I'm gonna be bringing in characters like Quicksilver Symbiote, Daemon, Hellstorm, right? Jeff the Land Shark, Phoenix Force, right? No one's gonna pick Hank Pym or Captain, or is Captain Britain Tech? No, he's not Tech, sorry. No one's gonna want to bring these guys, right? So if we do go back to tech again with global, I mean, you're gonna pick some of those big heavy hitters, right? We're not gonna bring Ant-Man or is Iron Man on this as well? And I don't actually know if he's a global. Or is he just... Oh, no, he is a global. Okay, all right, my bad. Unless he gets some crazy rework, there's no way people are going to bring up these characters, right? And unfortunately, like I said, global is already heavily saturated with some really nasty characters that are just absolutely game-breaking, right? Characters like the Phoenix Force, Emma Frost, right? Daemon Hellstorm. These characters are pretty much a team on their own, and there's no way we're going to pick like Hank Pym or Iron Man, right, over some of these characters, right? So this is why, yes, Az, you're right. Now you're actually making some sense here. So what you're saying here is we're going to be pretty solid here if we invest in the Insidious 6 here. Yeah, whether you're new, whether you're returning in the game and you just need a team to focus on, I mean, I'll show you guys what they can do in raids here on my baby account. So you can see that there's some great value for raids here. Even initially at the start, right? You need a city team to even start any of the dark dimensions, or, you know, to kind of finish them, you need a city team. But yeah, these guys fill a lot of niche roles, right? Not only are they right now the current tech team in raids, for the T raids, but you need them, like I said, for like the city challenges, to get the gold, right? To get the extra gold every Sunday, and is it Sunday, Monday, and Thursday or something? I forget what days they are. But yeah, you're going to need a city team, right? And not only that, but like I said, this team is going to be pretty pivotal here, for, like I said, for Blue Marvel, for the Dark Dimensions. And they're not going anywhere anytime soon, unfortunately, which is great for us. That means you're going to be able to, put a lot of resources and value into this team without having to regret that, right? So, like I said, I've got the Blue Marvel footage. I've got the Professor Xavier's footage. So that's going to make this video lengthy if I slap it all in here. So I'm going to have the link in the description. But what I will say is this. I'll go into the raids so you guys can see a firm example from my baby account here on how we can basically maximize rewards. Okay, so we are on my baby account now, and you guys will see here that we can basically dive into the raids. And I think this is one of the coolest things about investing in, again, a lot of the resources on this team, because there's a lot of flexibility here. So how it works is, if you are doing the T raids and you're in an alliance that has basically the regular version, then you're able to toggle between the different difficulties, right? And what's really cool is the fact that, with so many teams, again, as I said before, that we need to build, just having the Insidious 6 team itself will pretty much get you almost 50% of the raids completed. And I'll kind of explain what that means in, by showing you an example, right? So with my particular team, again, if you guys are trying to, figure out which difficulty is like the best for your bang for your buck, right after you get past difficulty 5, when you go into 6, you start seeing some of these tier 19 orb fragments, which is really, really good for your game's progression, right? This is going to be leading into, tier 19 gear and bringing your characters up further and further, so you can do, for example, Dark Dimension 7 for Mephisto, and of course as well getting stats and better characters for Dark Dimension 8, because then you're kind of pushing more for the purple ISO 8s to get, Odin, right? So Mephisto, Odin. So difficulty 6 is kind of where you want to start, right? Or a minimum, you want to get to this point. From that point on, if you can do difficulty 7, even better, because now instead of tier 19 stuff, we're also getting a bit of tier 20 and a bit of tier 21 as well. And this is all going to lead into, your end game progression and work towards basically a better and stronger roster, right? Now, with my Insidious 16 that I built up, my account here is about 200 and some days old. So I started this account again back in January, if you guys have been following along. And if you have to choose between difficulty 9 and 10, I mean, if you look here, there really isn't too much of a difference in the reward structure. Other than kind of right near the end here, where I think difficulty 10 gives you about the 8,600 of these crimson gear, and if you do difficulty 9, it gives you about 6,000. But other than that, the tier 21 and tier 20 and 19s are pretty much even across, and I'll kind of toggle between so you guys can see here. So if you need to, on a busy day, and when I don't touch this account, I can usually just sim it, and hopefully it works without too many issues. But we will run the sim on here so you guys can see, right? So this is one node that we can do with our, with our Insidious 6. Luckily for us, it works. So we get, we get 10 of the tier 21s, 160 of the tier 20s. Good stuff. Now we go into the second node here, which is also great because it's a, it's a villain node. But unfortunately, whoops, let's go back to difficulty 9. Unfortunately, I don't have these characters built up. This would require Hellfire Club, because when you have difficulty 8 and above, you need to have a more restrictive, characters, right? And unfortunately for me, I just haven't built them up because I just haven't had time to play on this account. But what's nice here is we can go into difficulty 7 and we can utilize our Insidious 6 again, which is kind of cool, actually. So again, you can hit sim here and hopefully they win. Difficulty 7 shouldn't be too hard, but again, we're getting our Crimson, we're getting our tier 20 and tier 19, so great. And it's the same situation here as well, because now we're going into this section here with, mission 1, or mission 3, excuse me, where we can now go back into our into our Insidious 6, right? And this one I think is a little bit more tricky, because this is one where I think if you sim it, you're probably most likely going to lose it, just because of the way the battle goes. So we'll go into it so you guys can kind of see how it looks. But I think it's because there's I could have been mistaken here. I think there's a daemon that creates an issue for us. So luckily for us, if we play it manually, I don't think we should have too many issues. But yeah, if you do sim it, there is a very high likelihood that you might lose it, just because the computer plays it wrong, right? So unfortunately, yeah, we'll have to play through it. But yeah, hopefully you guys are able to see here. So even right now, if once we do this node, we should be able to get 3 nodes here, pretty much at some good difficulty and minimal investments as well, because we are only really bringing out 1 team, right? We'll do the decay, so this rips the safeguard off, and then once we get the vulture's turn, we should be able to do some more. Oh no, we're still taunting on the living mummy, which is unfortunate. That sucks. Let's just throw the ultimate here. And yeah, don't worry. Like, if you can't do this particular node, you can always drop the difficulty down. But I mean, this is a really, really solid team here. And it's not just raids, right? We already discussed that they're good with Dark Dimension. We're gonna need them for Professor Xavier as well. And if you've been doing the spider towers, well, then you'll know that this team was pretty important too. So I mean, lots of great use out of this team still. Lots of miles left. And really, I should have did a video earlier on this, so I do apologize. But yeah, this is such a great value team. And like I already said, if you've been doing Blue Marvel, or if you've been doing your Dark Dimensions or your Xavier, you'll know that these guys are definitely for sure a good investment, right? Let's actually go for Living Mummy here. He might actually die off maybe from the bleeds. So the bleeds are always nice. So yeah, I mean, I have no regrets bringing these guys up, even on my baby account. But yeah, really, really solid team here. I think I'm just gonna hit auto here so I can talk without having to pay attention. But yeah, I mean, if you guys, like I said, if you guys need the footage again on the Dark Dimensions or the Blue Marvel, I had that one yesterday. But if you guys need the one for Professor Xavier as well, and you can see how this team performs, I'll link both those in the description so you guys have it. Again, like I said, really, really solid team. Great use of resources. The only drawback, I think, to this entire team is the fact, like I said, it is quite heavy on the tech side. And really, if you are kind of limited on your tech resources, try to prioritize like Superior Spider-Man and Hobgoblin and Vulture. Vulture is also quite cheap as well, which is kind of nice. But yeah, but I mean, yeah, this team is definitely for sure a good investment. And I'll have to see here if I can get through her just throwing basics. She is quite tanky, honestly. I do not like playing against her, even on raids, because she is so tanky. And once it gets to Hobgoblin's turn, I think we're going to throw a special on her just to flip some of those positives. Oh, he doesn't have his special up just yet, so I'll have to see how this one goes here. Let's throw the special just to rip off some of the positives. You screw it. Let's just do the decay. Maybe this will kill her now. Okay, let's get some bleeds on her. Yeah, but yeah, this is a really, really solid team, guys. And as I've already mentioned before, there's a lot of teams, right? There's a lot of teams to be building, whether you're a new player, whether you're a returning player, whether you're an end game player. And this is definitely one that's going to be good for your investment. The Scorpion Breaker is also coming back, and these guys are good for that as well here on a particular node. I think it's right after, I think, the Exalted X-Men node. So I think it's number 3. But yeah, again, we get our 10 fragments of gear tier 21, which is going to help for our future Dark Dimension 9. We get gear for Professor Xavier. We get gear for Mephisto. Like, what's there not to like about this team, right? So really, really solid. We're going to do one more node here. I think I can just sim this one because this is actually the Insidious 6 one here. But yeah, let's see here. I think it's... I think we should be okay to sim it. If not, I can do a health refresh. But yeah, hopefully it works. Usually when I'm doing this on video, sometimes it fails. But yeah, again, so right there we do it. And now we get into the next section, which requires immortal weapons, which is totally fine. If you don't have immortal weapons built up, you can toggle this back down and you can bring it to level 5 or 4 or whatever. And I think it requires, or does it require? Oh, sorry, difficulty 2, I think is where it's at. But anyways, that's besides the point. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 10 raid lanes with one single team. And we also tried to do it so that it was difficulty 7 for number 2, but we were still able to maximize number 9 on difficulty, or sorry, number 1 we did difficulty 9, number 3 we did difficulty 9, and number was it 3 and 4 we did. So three out of the 4 nodes we did it on pretty much the highest level that we can go. And like I said, it just kind of opens up the doors here. Then you can kind of focus on immortal weapons and amazing Avengers as well. But that's kind of, maybe I'll address that in another video. But like I said, 4 nodes, 1 team, absolutely insane value, right? Obviously, you know, if you can do extra ones and you can do the other ones, great. Throw them in there, sim it. But like I said, 4 nodes from 1 team is a pretty good investment side. And like I said, yeah, I'll attach the gameplay for my Professor Xavier and my Blue Marvel as well, integrating with the Insidious 6. Hopefully this video has made sense. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Are you guys happy or not happy with this particular team? Overall, I'm a big spider nut, and I do enjoy the Sinister 6, the Insidious 6, and I was pretty stoked about, you know, when I heard about the Dread team, but unfortunately just not the characters that I wanted to get the rework. But overall, this is still the moving team moving forward here, and I don't think people are gonna, you know, be regretful on the resources spent on this team, because like I said, it's a city tech team, and we just don't really have that niche filled by the other members, right? So it is what it is. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.